No, that's not what I want. There it is. There it is. Good morning, everybody. We are here. Today is the day. I'm going to get a video put out this week. Period. End of sentence. It's been years. I've literally been playing Baldur's Gate 3 for 550 hours. Okay, let me change my stream title real quick. I'm going to call this The Plan. And we're going to put this in just chatting. Category just chatting. There we go. Okay, so this week, video happening, gonna happen, it will happen, it's happening right now. I am going to make, I think, for my first video, top 10 most influential games in my life. Yeah, most influential games in my life. I'm here with a notepad and my screen, and let's get going. So far, here's my list. I started at 10 games. I got it down to 15, so I thought maybe it was a 10 plus 5 situation. So I took the 5 that could easily be removed, and I put a little star next to them. We'll put these at the bottom. So here's my list. At the top, we have Baldur's Gate 3. Surprise. I remember when I got on Steam, and I played a bunch of Team Fortress 2. And gosh darn it, after a long, long time of playing Team Fortress 2, I went into Steam and I looked at my playtime, and I was just under 200 hours. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. And for a long time, that stood as the most played game on Steam for me. Let's currently look at our playtimes in Steam. Sort by hours played. I've got 573 hours in Blender. Working on CG models and all sorts of weird, disturbing goodness. I've got 553.8 hours in Baldur's Gate 3, currently with one friend playing. So I'm about ready to boot my productivity software out the door in favor of Baldur's Gate 3. So that's the big one. We've now got, where is Team Fortress 2? What's going on here? Oh, this is just my favorite section. Okay, let's do, can I just look at all? All games. Okay, it looks like Dota 2. Wow! I didn't realize Dota 2 had that much time. Oh my gosh. I must have fired it up. I don't remember firing up Dota 2. It's weird. So 568 in Dota 2, that's a good one. I like to put that on the best games of all time. That's a pretty cool team-based MOBA. 553 for Baldur's Gate 3. 503. I broke the 500-hour mark with Elden Ring. Impressive. Fantasy Grounds Unity, 224. That's my D&D program of choice, DMing. Looks like I've DM'd 224 hours in Fantasy Grounds, or at least prepared that much. 200 hours in Vampire Survivors. That's interesting. That's very good. 177 in The Witcher 3. I'll tell you what, now comparing Witcher 3 to Baldur's Gate 3, it's like, oh man, Baldur's Gate 3 by a mile. Witcher 3, they both fill very similar roles. Witcher 3 is so great as an action game. Baldur's Gate 3, so great as a. Oh man, wouldn't that be a fun class to mod? To put Geralt as a Witcher class in Baldur's Gate 3? That would be amazing. For subclasses, you got like the wolf, the cat, the bear. Of the forest, 154 hours, and then it goes down from there. Okay, 145 hours for Team Fortress 2. I thought I had more time than that. And yeah, just going down the list here. Looking at potential best game candidates. Oh man, Dragon Quest 11. Great game. My total playtime in this divided between 3 systems, I think, PS4 and Switch. Chronicles of Mystara. I really want to put this down. This is such a great game. I mean, as far as beat 'em ups go, this is kind of like the best beat 'em up ever. Because it's got the depth of the D&D classes. You can heal as a cleric. You can steal things as a thief. I think you can steal things. It's really great. Ah, gotta log into this. Is this installed? No, it's not installed. But I want to get this classic Presto. Do I have to buy this? What? $20? Oh my god. That's insane. That's insane. That's insane money to spend on a stupid game that you don't even play. Good lord. Wow. Darkest Dungeon. What a great game. Oh, I'd love to put that on my list. Streets of Rage 4. Oh, awesome beat 'em up. Awesome, awesome beat 'em up. Resident Evil Remake. Great stuff. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. 59 hours. Man, if I had playtime on my PlayStation version, that'd be amazing. Unfortunately, I think I lost my PlayStation save. The memory card it was on is eluding me at this point. I don't know where it's at. Skyrim. Yeah. Resident Evil 5. Nice stuff. Great revolutionized co-op. Well, I would say revolutionized, but it did it right early on. Metal Gear Solid 5, great game. Disgaea, Fallout, Morrowind is on my list. Real Mist, Katamari Damacy, love it. Half-Life Alyx is on my list. Resident Evil 4 is on my list. Placid Plastic Duck Simulator is not on my list. What am I forgetting? I'm just looking through here to see if I'm forgetting anything that I really want to put on here. Especially older games that I may have just forgotten exist. Bioshock, good game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, good game. Final Fantasy 9, good game. Final Fantasy 12. If I had to pick a Final Fantasy, it would be Final Fantasy 12. Final Fantasy 12 is brilliant. It's genius. Hollow Knight, 4.4 hours played. Can't speak to it. I hear it's like one of the best games ever. Maybe I should play that before. See, then I won't get this video out this week. Not Dragon's Lair. I think we're just kind of getting into the rest of the crap here. So I'm Exit the Road. I love it. Assassin's Creed 2. This is about my list. I think we might be able to close this list. Thief. Red Dead. I don't have a fighting game on my list, but hey, that's the way it happens. That's the way it happens. East West Final Fantasy. God, how many more games are there? There's a lot more. Let's go a little bit faster. All right, I think I've seen everything. This is my final list. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In no particular order. And then here's my list of alternates. So, top of the list, we have Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, Half-Life Alyx, Doom, Katamari Damacy, Riven, Resident Evil 4, Witcher 3, Thief the Dark Project, and The Elder Scrolls Morrowind. Beep. Let's talk about why. Baldur's Gate 3, why not Baldur's Gate 1 or 2? Baldur's Gate 3 is more modern, it's more fun, it's more playable. It's less story-driven and is more tactical. In the form of XCOM. It's more palatable to the modern player. Let's say it like that. It is more palatable to the modern player. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 are excellent, excellent games, and I love them dearly, and I've got lots and lots of playtime in them. But they are a bit dated. Baldur's Gate 3, just a fun experience. No problems getting through it. Elden Ring, FromSoft. Why not Sekiro? Why not Dark Souls? Why not Bloodborne? These would all be welcome on the list. Elden Ring, just for the scope of it, they blew it up, they made it big, and it gives you more choices. Um, you run into less dead ends. If you run into something that you can't kill, you just come back to it later. And that alleviates the difficulty without sacrificing any of the gameplay. You just go off and do some more other gameplay until you're ready to come back for it. Half-Life Alyx. Why not Half-Life 2? Well, I've got to play this new Half-Life 2 VR mod, and then I'll get back to you, I guess. But Half-Life Alyx right now, it's everything you love about Half-Life, and it's in VR, and it's the most amazing VR I've ever seen. Um, Multiple times I forgot that I was wearing a headset, even though the headset I have is like 10 pounds, and it's huge. Trying to lean up against walls that aren't there and falling over in my living room. Half-Life Alyx was an excellent experience. Doom. This is the original. We're talking 1993. Katamari Damacy. The whole series is. I love that it's just an alternative to every other game ever made. There's nothing like it. It's just a happy game that you can just play and not worry about killing things. Just rolling things up into a big ball. So there is like a certain element of mayhem, but it's for the most part contained and whimsical, and it makes me feel good. And the music is friggin' unbelievable. Riven. How do you follow up one of the greatest PC games of all time? You make Riven, and what missed? I mean, it's amazing. Riven's so good. It makes such a believable world, and the way you solve the quote unquote puzzles. There's no puzzles in Riven. That's what nobody really ever talks about, or maybe they do. I don't know. I'm not in the Riven conversation, but Riven doesn't like have puzzles. You know, when you sit down to play Riven for a few minutes, like you click around and you realize, oh, I'm just walking around like a big world. Like, what am I supposed to be doing here again? And that's the point of Riven. When you get to that point, when you say, what am I doing here? Like, that's when it stops motivating you as a video game protagonist and starts motivating you as like an actual human being. Like, it takes you become the detective in real life, going like, okay, what am I seeing here? What is going on? Like, what what are my objectives and how can I accomplish them? Um, and it's not just like kill the bad guy. Like, I mean, if anything, that gets lost while you're playing the game. Your objectives are like, how do I get out of here? Like, how do I get over there? How do I get up this thing? How do I reach this place? And all of the answers are in the environment, and it's not a combined sandwich with broom, and stick it on the door kind of solutions to problems. It's like you have to like learn the culture and the meaning and what's with these houses. Do people live here? Like how do they eat? How do they read? How do they speak? How do they communicate? What do they do in their spare time? Well, they're paper slaves. Like once you understand all these things, you start to get at how sound and the visuals all wrap around and become a crucial element to the immersion, which is what Riven really gets. I want a Riven VR so bad because I just want to be there. And I want to solve that final missing piece of Riven, of that immersion that it's so good at, is just to be able to like put me there in my brain with my eyeballs. That would be so incredible. That's why Riven VR is going to blow my mind. I think it's happening. I know there was a team working on it, and I think for an official release even. So we'll keep an eye open on that. I would guess it's going to be out like this year, next year. We'll check and take a look. Resident Evil 4. I'm talking about the original. I have not played the what is supposed to be incredible remake. Resident Evil 4 is just one of those games that I think is held up so well. I don't think it needs a remake. Once you get to like Resident Evil, you see Resident Evil 8. took so much from Resident Evil 4, except for the first person camera, right? They shoved it in there and made it a little bit different. But otherwise, it's a lot of Resident Evil 4 happening. Uh, I'm sorry, I've got the TV on in the other room. It's the pitch meeting guy, and I'm starting to listen to it. Resident Evil 4 is it was a game that when it came out, I bought it for my friend. Wasn't even his birthday or anything. It was just, I bought it for my friend and gave it to him, and I said, Randy, this game came from the future. This game is like 10 years ahead of its time. I know you like Resident Evil. You have to play this. And I've told you this already once this week, and you still have not bought this game, so here you are. Have Resident Evil 4. Enjoy. And he did. He played that game to death for the next decade until he got sick of it. And I bet he's not played the remake either for the same reason. I just played so much Resident Evil 4. The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, great game, great game, great game. I may have just overdid it with Witcher 3, though. Um, that's a little bit deeper. That's not as much pick up and play. I find Baldur's Gate being able to customize your party so immediately allows you to just pick up the game wherever it's at, check out your party, throw something together, and just run out there. Witcher 3 is a little more like, oh, what quests do I have? I'm checking the quest menu a lot. I mean, in Baldur's Gate 3, it's a 500-hour adventure. I didn't spend a lot of time in the quest menu. Um, so good job, Baldur's Gate 3. But why am I talking? See, Witcher 3, I'm talking about Baldur's Gate again, Witcher. This is a good game. This is a good game. I love the doing your homework for the monsters you're fighting. Playing Witcher 3 on the hardest difficulty setting on Inferno is incredible, and everybody should do it. You've got to do your oils. You've got to use the right weapons. You've got to, figure the magic system out, and it becomes really incredibly rewarding. The atmosphere is incredible. The enemies are amazing. I love not knowing exactly what you're fighting. You're thinking, oh, maybe it's some kind of vampire. Maybe it's some kind of werewolf. Maybe it's, what am I gonna go in here? And you go in. It's like you go inside of an evil cursed tree or something, and you're like, what the fuck? I didn't know this is what was going on. I gotta turn this TV off. I'll be right back. Well, I can't find my remote. I can't turn the TV off, so I've got pitch meeting going in the background that's distracting me. But oh well, let's talk. We got about 5 more minutes. Thief: The Dark Project. Oh my goodies! Thief was such an incredible experience when I was in college playing Thief. The idea of stealth at that point for me had really just been Metal Gear Solid, um, Tenchu Stealth Assassins. I loved stealth. Uh, I wanted more of it. Like when I'd be playing Doom, it would be nice if you could sneak up on somebody, but it was never like that. It was just blast them. And Thief had such a cool. It felt like an open world. It wasn't an open world. I mean, there were just levels, but you were free to tackle that level in so many ways. Take the high route. Climb up through the rafters, sneak along the floor in the shadows. There were always multiple ways in. There were always multiple ways out, and there were always fun secrets to be had and adventures um, when you bungle something up and have to do a quick escape. Very exciting. Rope arrows, shooting water arrows out to put out torches, stand hidden. I never gave that game the love it deserved in terms of its mods. I played Thievery a few times online, which was multiplayer Thief, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, I think that game has a lot of modding potential, and I would love to go spend a day on Nexus Mods and just see what I could do to Thief: The Dark Project or Thief 2: The Metal Age and really get them running. Thief 3, oddly enough, I never played Thief 3: Deadly Shadows. Um, I got it for the Xbox. Here's the thing: new developer, Looking Glass. I think turned it over to somebody, or maybe the company turned into Looking Glass. I can't remember, but they did a third-person camera. There was some stuff starting to feel weird. I got it for the Xbox, maybe a year after it came out. But I got it for Christmas along with a lot of other stuff, and I bought a used copy. Like I bought that myself; it wasn't a gift. And so I kind of had it on the shelf. It sat on my backlog, and then the Xbox 360 came out. When I went to play Thief 3 for the Xbox 360, there was this interesting bug where every light source in the game, in the level, would show up and pass through walls. And now this made the game unplayable because light is such an integral part of the game that you would see the shimmers of treasures. If there was a treasure hidden in a chest, you would see it shining through the chest, and you would see that shining through a wall. So you would just know there's a treasure over there in the next room, which just ruined the game. So I didn't even want to play the game like that for fear of something being taken away from it, that I might miss some of the greatness if there was greatness in the game due to those constraints. It just didn't feel like something I wanted to do. I didn't want to be that close to an awesome Thief game and just be like, this sucks. Or this would be more fun if I didn't have X-ray vision. But the X-ray vision bug, the X-ray treasure vision, stopped me from playing Thief 3. But never mind, it's not on the list. It wasn't going to be on the list anyway. I got Thief the Dark Project on the list. Oh my god. The zombie levels, the cathedral, the mines, so much amazing stuff. The fun house at the end. Crazy stuff starts happening, and the story is strangely compelling. Thief the Dark Project, getting on good old games, and play it today. And then finally, number 10, again, no particular order here, but the Elder Scrolls Morrowind. This was like this is like going to an amusement park when it's like they got the new fastest roller coaster and it's amazing and everybody's talking about it, and you ride it 1,000 times and it's so great and you have the best weekend ever, and next year you're gonna go back, but like somebody fell off of the roller coaster and now they've got like a speed limit on it and the bars where you can't move and you're like strapped down, and it's not the same experience and it's not very much fun. That's what it's like to go from Morrowind to Skyrim. If we're going to jump over Oblivion, it was kind of what it was like to go from Morrowind to Oblivion, but really that's what it gets like when it's on Skyrim. Skyrim, I feel like, is just almost like a virtual amusement park. There's dungeons and those are your rides, and you just go, what ride am I going to go on today? And you look at your map and go, ooh, that ride sounds fun. That one's got vampires in it. Ooh, that one's got a dragon. Ooh, that one's got some ogres. Oh, I'll do that. And that one's got a magic sword. And then you go stand in line for the ride. You walk up the mountain. You talk to the guy. You follow the arrows. There's a little bit of wow, and then you go bye-bye. In Morrowind, it was like a lonely game. Like, it's a game for lonely people because you feel isolated in that game. There is no structure to feel at home in Morrowind. When you get out in Morrowind, it's the Wild West. And it's absolutely crazy, and it's absolutely riveting because you don't know what you're going to find. You don't know if you're going to die. You're going to be dying all the time because it was a PC game. So you're like loading your save game. You didn't want to load your save game. You load your save games, you get murdered, right? And you felt that murder. You felt it hard. So reload. Oh, I got murdered again. Reload. Oh, murdered. Reload. They're like, developers at some point are like, well, people don't like reloading games, especially on consoles, because loading and saving is a pain in the ass. Um, Console gamers have never had to like juggle save files. Like that's always been really avoided on consoles, mainly because the interface sucks. On PC, you just hit F5, you hit F7, or you say F5. Hey, I don't know if I can make that jump. F5, jump. Ooh, didn't make it. Load, learned, going this way now. Like it's a learning process, but the danger's still there. In Elder Scrolls Skyrim, you get to the point where it's just like everything just feels remarkably safe. It lost a lot of the challenge. Everybody's the same character because there's like a meta build that's just more effective. Um, the meta's been discovered. It's like the game's own popularity has worked against it. Whereas in Morrowind, the first character I ever made was a wizard, and I didn't understand the magic system. And so it was like a busted ass wizard. It was terrible. It didn't work. I couldn't cast any spells. Or maybe a thief. I might have been a thief because the stealth system also busted. Um, if you don't know how to like grind up your stealth skill, it's very hard to hide from anybody or shoot a bow and arrow at them from a dark corner. And if that's how you wanted to play Morrowind, you found yourself in a great deal of trouble. And we're always on the run and always outgunned and always, I mean, you're really, really struggling. It was a real struggle because all classes and all playstyles were not created equally. But I didn't know that. So that was kind of the exciting part. It's like, God damn, this game crazy. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to do this. And that led to a very emergent game, and you know, in that you had to find your own workarounds. It's like, well, I can sell all these spoons. I can root through these crates and get enough money to buy something, get some armor or something on me. Maybe I can't do the wizard thing. Maybe I do need to learn a light armor. So then you go and you got your hammer and you're missing and you're just whacking at a little slug for 5 or 10 minutes. And then you think, well, maybe I'm strong enough to kill one of those carrion crawlers now. Um, or chasm chasers, cliff racers. Yeah, it's a cliff racer. That's what it was. So you run out, and the stupid cliff racer's always hovering over your head, and he won't move. And every time you take a step, he gets a little closer. He gets a little closer. He gets a little closer. Like you're weird cheesing the game like that. Like it's truly alien behavior. Like when you realize the cliff racers don't immediately descend down on you; they'll just kind of hover over your head. You'll hear them. You're like, "What the hell?" You hear him. You look around. You look up. Oh, there's a cliff racer up there. Oh, he's not coming. He's just hovered up. He's like 40 feet up there. So you start walking, and it's like, oh, he's coming down. Whoop. It's like, wait, every time I take a step, he's getting lower. Okay, what do I do? I'm not going to run away from him. That's not going to work. It was a fun game. It didn't all have to make sense. It's just a fun game. Skyrim, it's just too sanitized. There's guardrails on everything. I don't know. It's like the Stonehenge. You know, you always see it from that one angle. Is apparently across the street there's like a McDonald's. Coliseum. Same thing. You always see the awesome picture of the Coliseum, but it's just like boop, popped like right down the street in the middle of town. That's Skyrim to me. So that's why I will always love Morrowind. Just a great game. Just weird. Weird as hell. Flawed. It's great because of its flaws. Runners up FTL. Oh shoot, I gotta go to work. Runners up FTL. Infinitely fun, infinitely replayable. The Forest VR scared me to death. Kerbal Space Program actually increased my comprehension of like orbital mechanics and the universe. And EVE Online, thank God somebody had the guts to just say, we're making one online world and everybody plays in it instead of these stupid shards like Warcraft and Ultima Online, all these different instances. Like, what if it's going to be a massively multiplayer game? Why not just have everybody be in the same server? And that's why EVE Online's economy is so interesting and just so much potential for freedom and what you can do. So those are my favorite games, and I will be talking about those probably starting tonight. I'll be making a video on, I don't know, one of them, probably Baldur's Gate 3. So stop in and take a peek. That'll be around, I don't know, 6 o'clock. I'll get rolling on that. So you guys all have a great day. Happy 2024. And it's going to maybe get warm up there today, Midwest. So enjoy the sunshine. Good day to you. Bye-bye.